Saturday day. Heard they crowded the floor. Couldn't bear it without you. Don't get around much anymore.
My name is Taylor Dallas Vidic. I am a founding member of the Muskeg Collective. I grew up in Juneau and am currently based there. The Muskeg Collective is a collection of singer-songwriters who are all somewhere in the process of recording and releasing an album. We all got dinner at a restaurant in Juneau a little over a year ago in spring of 2023. And we said, hey, this is hard, and it would be really nice to be able to have conversations about this process because there aren't a lot of people doing it in Southeast Alaska. And so to be able to share spreadsheets and we've described it a bit as a therapy group. It's like one part therapy group, one part a bunch of people who really like each other's music. And so now we have an excuse to listen to each other all the more often, which has been great. I am on a little getaway trip to Ketchikan this week because it is really hard for me to focus on working on my own art. I also produce events in Juneau and beyond, and I've noticed that it's very easy to get distracted doing those things and not work on my album, which I've even received a grant for, and I still am having to stop myself from doing other things so that I can focus on this project. And today I texted the group and said, hey, here are the things I've gotten done today, and to be able to celebrate that with a group of people, with the other members of the Muskeg Collective, is making it that much easier. Like it's a bit of a, what's the word that I want? They're like my accountability buddies, but there's 4 of them, which is really special. The other members of the Muskeg Collective are Annie Bartholomew, Aaron and Andrew Heist, who perform as The Heists, and Josh Fortenberry. All of the members of the Muskeg Collective are in the process of recording their album or already have released their album. So I believe the first one of the group was Erin Heist. She released her solo album 2 years ago, right around this time. And then about a year later, Annie Bartholomew released her first solo album called Sisters of Whitechapel. It is absolutely stunning. And then Josh Fortenberry released his album just over a month ago, which I guess means I've got 12 months to get my act together so that we can keep on that cycle. And we just recently welcomed Andrew Heist into the collective as an official member, which has been really wonderful. He's been performing with us since the beginning, and he's now been writing more music, and he and Aaron are making their duo, which expands outside of music, a bit more official within the music world. Everyone in the Muskeg Collective is Juneau-based currently. Annie and I both grew up in Juneau. Aaron grew up in Ketchikan and has lived in Juneau for quite some time. Andrew and Josh both grew up in the lower 48 and have since decided to call Juneau home, thank goodness. There must be something in the water in Juneau and in all of Southeast Alaska. There's a lot of extra challenges that come from trying to make art and make music, especially in a part of the state that doesn't have a roadway. And I say that as someone who adores the Alaska Marine Highway, but you need an entire extra day if you want to come down to Ketchikan to play music. And so being able to have these connections amongst those of us in the Muskeg Collective, and then to utilize them to help each other, and also to act as the guy when other people come to town, we like to swap resources. So like this week, I am very lucky to be staying at the Troll's house. Erin Heist is the niece of Ray and Michelle Troll. So that's just one of the many examples of the ways in which we are able to piggyback off of one another, and it makes trying to do this thing being art and music in 2024 in an economy that makes it really hard to make money making art, you know, and we're not doing it for that reason, but if I'm able to earn some kind of an income doing this, that means that I can spend more time thinking about it and focusing on it and hopefully produce better work because of it.
Lolly madly right or wrong, sounds like the lyrics of a song you choose. It's so much you ought to know. I love you madly. Beneficial in the sea is not a theory for me. That's for sure, just like I said before. I love you madly. If you could see the happy in me, I know about so proudly. You're the breath of spring that makes me sing my love song so loudly. And good things come to those who want. So just relax and wait for fate to let you see how much you mean to me. I love you madly.
COVID was really hard for many artists. COVID was hard for everyone. And there are also really wonderful things that came from all of us learning how to be more connected. which again is so relevant in a place like Alaska where our state is massive and we're not all able to drive to the next town in 2 hours. So through COVID and people getting more comfortable with Zoom and with communicating online, it's been really fun to see these bridges start to be formed from Southeast to Anchorage and Fairbanks, etc. I am helping produce an event adjacent to the Alaska Folk Festival next week down in Juneau, and there are musicians performing from Fairbanks, from Anchorage, from Ketchikan, from Sitka, from Juneau, from Skagway, maybe even someone from Haines. And many of those people are folks that I became connected to in the last 4 years because our worlds collided a bit, because we suddenly had the tools to allow us to do that. And I just see that continuing to happen, and we're learning how to do it in 2024 when we have these new tools at our disposal. So music in Alaska, I am excited to be a part of it at this age and this time, because I think it is beginning a steady up-ramp in a way that's going to allow us to export our music out of the state and export our music to different parts of the state. And that's really exciting, and I think the Muskeg Collective is an example of the way that we're learning how to do this in this new world, and it's providing new opportunities that are going to be really fun to watch for a time to come. My Ketchikan liaison is the one, the only, Chaz Gist, who, gosh, I've been having a conversation with a friend, Marion Call, who's a part of the Alaska Music Independent Artist Initiative. And we're talking about the concept of having the guy in every community. And the guy is just the person who knows all of the people to connect the dots. I am one of the guys in Juneau, so I know the venues that people should play at based on the kind of music they make. And I know that if they need a bass player, I've got my Juneau person, or if that person's not available, maybe I'll bring Chaz up to town. I've flown Chaz to town a couple of times to play with me at some larger gigs. So Chaz has been a huge deal, and having the guy in each community is the only way that art can happen, at least in a country where we are not more government funded to make art. One, two, three.
So I walk a little too fast, and I drive a little too fast, and I'm reckless, it's true, but what else can you do at the end of a love affair?
I feel like being able to come down to Ketchikan this week with the help of the resources of Chaz and of the Troll family and of my good friend Jason, being able to have those connections is what's making being in Ketchikan viable, both just from a logistical standpoint and also from a financial standpoint. And so it's a really big deal and really cool to get to see how all of those connections play together to make this exchange of art and of music possible. And it also means that I am all the more primed to receive artists in Ketchikan, artists like Chaz and like Dude Mountain and Austin Hayes, who's playing with us tonight. I am all the more primed to take care of them on the returning end, because this is an ecosystem. It's a symbiotic ecosystem, and it is so fun to just build that bridge wider and wider.
I want to respect that it's a Tuesday night and we've got bedtimes, so we're gonna be done close to 9, maybe a little after. But I want to be, you know, it's a school night. It's a school night.
If you don't stop, we can't leave.
Exactly. If you don't stop, we can't leave. Amen, sister.
I posted a video on social media upon arriving in Ketchikan 2 days ago, and it was just of my hair blowing around my face on the stinking airport ferry that you have to take to get to Ketchikan. And that is such a nice Zen moment to realize what an incredible place you have arrived in. And as I was driving up to the Troll's house on a beautiful sunny day prior to whatever mess is happening outside right now, I was just quiet. I turned off the radio and took in what was passing me on either side through the windows, because this is such a stunning place and such an incubator for joy and for community. And I don't know, like, I love coming here with my friends because I get to show them one of the best examples of Alaska and of Alaskan hospitality by coming to Ketchikan. And it's making my time here incredible. In addition to sharing music and sharing artists, I am excited to share processes and look at the ways that Ketchikan is supporting their arts and look at the ways that Juneau is supporting their arts and other communities and utilize the same resources and work together, because once we do that, Alaska's already unstoppable in so many ways, and to be able to make this part of our industry unstoppable would be huge. And we would all save so much time and money if we can continue to build these connections both on a stage and off the stage. And I'm excited to be having those conversations in and around being here for a couple of days and getting to perform at Creek Street Cabaret and the New York Cafe.